Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Crunch with another installment of Building a Team. So, yeah, we didn't have a Building a Team installment last week. There is a reason for that. There was going to be a Building a Team. In fact, the build was in fact going to be the build that you'll be seeing today. However, just after shooting the video, just after I shot my video, my play group basically decided, hey, we're going to change the format. And well, I did make something new for the new format for the game. I didn't make a video, and however, before, and then even I ended up, the game ended up getting canceled in general just because, only a couple of us could make it. So, yeah. Last time I played, the last Building a Team video we actually posted was for States practice. Now, I went with the Codex team. Didn't do too great. Certain builds really do handed its lunch, so yeah. And states happened this past weekend, and a big shout out to friend of the channel, Lucas from HeroClix headquarters, for getting second place in the Arkansas HeroClix State tournament, as well as another member of my group actually made, if I remember, got third place. So yeah, good job, guys. Anyhow, so this upcoming week's build, which was supposed to be the build we were initially going to be the build we were using for this coming Sunday, but well, yeah, 500 points. No primes, no WWE, no maximum one rare or super rare, no chases, no OP kit figures, so on and so forth. It's kind of a modified, in some ways, a modified Pauper format, but yeah. So, I had some ideas like last week, and one of them actually is sticking around, but over the last week I had kind of overhauled some of the ideas that I had. So, first off, we've got ourselves, First off, we got ourselves a shield team. Kicking things off for a shield, we've got Sharon Carter, Agent 13 comes in at 35 points, has the shield team ability as well as the Avengers, shield, politician, and spy keywords. She also has two traits. She has the espionage trait, as do most of the team, which grants her improved movement and improved targeting for hindering terrain, as well as stealth. Her other trait is best part of my day, leadership. If Sharon Carter is adjacent to a friendly character named Captain America or Steve Rogers, she and those characters increase the result of their D6 rolls for leadership by +1, if not already increased by a trait with this name. So basically, as long as you want to keep her and Cap adjacent, if Cap happens to be on this team, he is. Looking at her dial, it's very short. We get a click of sidestep on speed, nothing on attack, a couple clicks of inertial deflection on defense, followed by a click of defend with a 14 defense. That's actually a good thing, and I'll get to why here in a second. On damage, we go up with a special power, stand by for updates. Perplex. When Sharon Carter uses it to target another friendly character with the shield keyword, that character can use Outwit until your next turn. And then after that, she gets a click of support, which is where that 14 defense with defend comes into play. Basically, put her next to someone who has a printed, say, 18. Use that defend to knock it to replace their defense value with 14. Then hey, roll a 5. You just got to roll a 5 or higher to hit support. And then hey, who knows? Maybe you can actually do some heal up decently. Okay, all right. Next up, we've got Quake. Quake comes in at 65 points, has the Avengers and Shield team abilities, as well as the Avengers, Inhumans, Shield, Secret Warriors, and Spy keywords. 2 traits. She has Espionage, just like Agent Carter, and Assembled Avengers, which will also pop up on a few figures on the team. Assembled Avengers. Once per turn, when Quake hits, after resolutions, you may roll a d6. On a 5 or a 6, if your force is 3 or more friendly characters with the Avengers keyword, remove an action token from Quake, or give an action token to a hit target. If your force has 6 or more, do both. And for the record, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 figures on the team with the Avengers keyword. So yeah. Then, like I said, she also has the stealth or the espionage trait. Looking at her dial, we get a couple clicks of charge, followed by a couple of mid-dial clicks of sidestep, and back to charge at the end, which is kind of nice. On attack, we got a full dial of a special attack power, pinpoint earthquakes, or just earthquakes, which gives Quake, Quake. When she uses it, you may choose one. Choose an unoccupied square within her range, and she may use Quake as if she occupied that square, or Giant Reach X, where X is her click number. So it kind of depends on if she's taking damage or not. If she hasn't, I would recommend using the, pick a square in range. After all, I mean, her range is 5 squares, so that's not bad at all. But after she takes damage, then go with the Giant Reach. Stick with using pick a square within. Yeah, pick an unoccupied square within 5 of her. It just depends partially on if she's taking damage as well as the circumstances. Defensively speaking, we get 3 clicks of combat reflexes, followed by 3 clicks of willpower. On damage, we go with a couple clicks of empower, then we get a couple clicks of close combat expert, followed by some late dial battle fury. Okay, alright. Next up, we've got Roz Solomon. Roz here also comes in at 65 points, has the Shield team ability, as well as the Asgardian, Shield, Wakanda, Scientist, and Spy keywords. She also has improved targeting, may make range attacks out of adjacency, including to target adjacent opposing characters. She has the espionage trait, just like Quake and Sharon Carter, as well as another trait, vibranium bullets. When Roz Solomon makes a range attack, her target's defense values can't be positively modified. So now this is only when she is making an attack. If if Hawkeye targets someone that Roz has Agent Solomon has targeted, and they've clicked onto, or so let's say their defense was perplexed up by 1, and then they clicked on to inertial deflection, they got +3 defense. When Roz is attacking them, they lose that +3. But when Hawkeye attacks, they've still got the perplex, they've got the ESD, so yeah. Still, it's very useful. So, nothing to sneeze at, in all honesty. Alright, so looking at Roz's dial, we open up with a few clicks of Running Shot, followed by a couple clicks of special power Celestial Tech, which grants Roz phasing teleport, and once per game when she uses it, she may carry an opposing character. Okay. On attack, we open up with a couple clicks of Penetrating Psychic Blast, followed by a few clicks of Energy Explosion. Defensively speaking, we open up with a couple clicks of Toughness, followed by a few clicks of Energy Shield Deflection. On damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Outwit, and at the back end of the dial, we pick up a couple clicks of Close Combat Expert. Not too shabby. Next up, we've got Nick Fury. Fury comes in at 75 points, has the Shield team ability, as well as the Howling Commandos, Shield, Secret Warriors, Politician, Soldier, and Spy keywords. We have the Espionage trait, obviously, as well as the trait Director of Shield. Leadership. When Nick Fury uses it and succeeds, instead of the normal effect, you may generate a shield agent into an adjacent square or a square of hindering terrain within range and line of fire. Okay, alright. More on the shield agents in a second. Looking at Fury's dial, we open a couple clicks of Running Shot, followed by a couple clicks of Sidestep. On attack, we've got a couple clicks at the top of Energy Explosion, followed by a click at the end of Precision Strike. Also, if you notice, his attack value never drops below a 10. So that's kind of useful. That's kind of nice. Defensively speaking, he's got Indomitable, so built-in willpower, which is always nice. We open up with some Toughness, followed by some Combat Reflexes, followed by a stop click there at the very end, Life Model Decoy, which, as I said, is a stop click, so it's got stop. Mastermind. When this click is first revealed, actual resolutions roll a d6. Place Nick Fury up to that many squares away from his current square. Alright. On damage, we open with a couple clicks of Outwit, followed by a couple clicks, mid to late clicks of Close Combat Expert, followed by a final click of Outwit. Alright. Next up, we've got Hawkeye, the Avenging Archer himself. So Hawkeye here comes in at 75 points. We've actually used this Hawkeye quite a bit over the course of pulling him early this year, but still. He has the Team Player Wildcard team ability, as well as the Avengers, Shield, Thunderbolts, Martial Artist keywords, improved targeting, may make range attacks out of adjacency, including to target adjacent opposing characters. And we have two traits. We have Assembled Avengers, just like Quake did, as well as not tricks, tactical. Precision Strike. Hawkeye may use his Precision Strike and or Range Combat Expert, even while targeting more than one target. Now that is extremely useful. Especially with his Energy Explosion, or with Energy Explosion and his Precision Strike. Using those together can be very useful. Looking at his dial, on speed, we open up with a couple clicks and end with a click of the special speed power Hawkeye, giving him Running Shot, Sidestep, and Stealth. Then mid to late dial, we have a few clicks of regular Sidestep. On attack, we open up with a couple clicks of Incapacitate, which leads to a few clicks of Energy Explosion, and then back to Incapacitate. Defensively speaking, we open up with Willpower, which gives way to a few clicks of Inertial Deflection before going back to Willpower. Damage, we open up with Leadership for a couple clicks, and then we get the rest of the dial consisting of Range Combat Expert. Alright. Next up, we've got Captain America, the Sentinel of Liberty himself. Cap here comes in at 85 points, has the Avengers team ability, as well as the Avengers, Shield, Soldier keywords, as well as improved movement, ignores hindering terrain and characters. We've got the Assembled Avengers trait, just like Hawkeye and Quake, as well as the Living Legend trait. The first time each game that Cap would be KO'd, instead turn to his last non-KO click, then roll a d6 and heal him equal to half the result. And this gets around, this has protection from Pulse Wave, so if he would be KO'd because of Pulse Wave, he still gets to use it. Looking at Cap's dial, we open up with a couple clicks of Running Shot, followed by a click of Sidestep, then we get a couple clicks of Charge, and we pick up another click of Sidestep there at the very end. On attack, we open up with nothing, but that eventually he clicks into, eventually, Precision Strike, and then some Quake. Defensively speaking, we've got Indomitable, because, I mean, it is Cap. We open up with a click of Impervious, followed by some Inertial Deflection, followed by Combat Reflexes. On damage, we open up with Special Power, Let's Finish This, Avengers. Leadership. When Captain America rolls a 6 for Leadership, or the Assembled Avengers trait, until your next turn, friendly characters can't have their combat values negatively modified. Okay. That then gives way to a few clicks of Close Combat Expert. Alright. Now, keep in mind that this Cap with Agent, if you have Cap next to Sharon Carter, if he rolls a 5 on leadership, he has technically, you add 1, so it does become a 6. But that only affects leadership, not the Assembled Avengers trait. So you got to hope for a 6 on those. But hey, if you hit a 6 on leadership, well, hey, even better. You don't have to worry about hitting that 6 for Assembled Avengers. Honestly, you just kind of need to worry about hitting a 5. Anyways, finally, we've got the Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier comes in at 95 points. Has the Team Player Wildcard ability. He's also got a bevy of keywords. Avengers, Hydra, Invaders, Shield, Thunderbolts, Assassin, Soldier, Spy. We've also got improved targeting. Maybe make range attacks out of adjacency, including to attack adjacent opposing characters. We've got the Assembled Bolts and Masters trait, which works the exact same as Assembled Avengers, but instead of keying off of the Avengers keyword, it keys off of the Masters of Evil and Thunderbolts keywords. And only one other figure on the team has either of those keywords, and that's Hawkeye. So we're not really going to be using the Assembled Bolts and Masters trait much. Then he's also got the Espionage trait. Looking at his dial, we open up with a click of Running Shot, followed by a Charge, followed by a Sidestep, then Running Shot, Charge, and Sidestep. On attack, we open up with a click of Precision Strike. We get a couple blank clicks in early to the middle. In the middle to end, we get a couple clicks of Penetrating Psychic Blast, and then we have a final click of Precision Strike. Defensively speaking, he's got Indomitable, so it builds in willpower, which is always nice. It's some vulnerability, followed by some toughness, followed by combat reflexes, followed by some end dial regeneration. On damage, we open with a click of Outwit, followed by a couple of clicks of the special power Efficient and Ruthless Application of Force, which grants Winter Soldier Close Combat Expert and Range Combat Expert. Very useful. That then gives way to a couple of clicks of Exploit Weakness, and then back to, at the very end, Outwit. Okay. Now, I did mention with Nick Fury, with Nick Fury, he can bring in shield agents. Now, the shield agents, generally speaking, you can pick one of 4 2-click dials. They all have the following trait, however. What's my assignment? Free. Choose an adjacent friendly character with a shield keyword and a standard speed power that character can use except hypersonic speed. Shield agent can use the chosen power until your next turn. Now, more than likely, I'll be utilizing either the first dial, which has Range Combat Expert, or the second one, which has Close Combat Expert. So what I'll probably try to do is keep shield agents adjacent to Sharon Carter, so that they can pick use her sidestep if she's on a sidestep click, or one of the figures that has sidestep as part of the special power, such as Hawkeye. Let's see. Yeah, Hawkeye's got sidestep as part of his special power. If Winter Soldier's on sidestep, well, Winter Soldier. Same with Cap, Fury, Quake. Yeah. Practically everyone on the team gets sidestep eventually, but early on I'll probably be trying to keep them close to Sharon to use that her sidestep right off the bat, or Sharon Carter or Hawkeye use their sidestep so that they can use either close or range combat expert depending on the situation. Next up, we've got ourselves a Justice League team. Kicking things off on this with the question. We've run the question a few times lately since we pulled them in Justice League Unlimited. Question comes in at 40 points, has the JLA team ability as well as the Justice League Detective, Martial Arts, and Reporter keywords. We got 2 traits. First off, we have Justice League Unlimited, which almost everyone on the team has. And it works the same for everyone. So we'll read it the once and then we're not going to read it after this for this video. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6. On a 6, remove an action token from another friendly character with a Justice League keyword that's 100 points or less. Okay. Next up, we have Question Authority. As a power action, if there is no d6 on this card, roll a d6 and place it on this card. Whenever a character within 6 squares in line of fire makes an attack roll, you may remove the d6 from this card and replace a die in the roll with it. Alright. Looking at Questions dial, we got a full run of Stealth on speed. We got a couple of clicks of special speed attack power, Asking Questions. At the end of your turn, Smoke Cloud at no cost will only generate 1 marker. Now, the cool thing with that is that you can generate that marker in Questions Square. That way, he's always got hindering terrain handy for stealth purposes. Looking at the rest of his dial, we got Indomitable on defense as well as combat reflexes. Damage-wise, we open up with a couple clicks of Perplex, followed by a couple clicks of... we open up with a couple clicks of Outwit, followed by a couple clicks of Perplex. Alright, so moving on. We've got Huntress. Huntress here comes in at 40 points as well, has the Batman ally team ability, which grants her perma stealth. She also has the Batman family, Birds of Prey, Justice League, and Martial Arts keywords, and as well as the Justice League Unlimited trait. And another trait, when are you going to take me out on a real date, Q? As a free action, turn on just the same click number of a different color. Let's take a quick look at her dial. As you can see, she basically has 2 4-click long dials. On her range combat dial, we've got some running shots, some energy explosion, some inertial deflection, and some range combat expert. However, on the close combat dial, we've got charge, quake, combat reflexes, and close combat expert. Next up, we've got Black Canary. Canary here comes in at 45 points as the Justice League team ability as well as the Birds of Prey, Justice League International, and Martial Arts keywords, and the Justice League Unlimited trait. Looking at her dial, we've got a click of sidestep, a couple clicks of charge, and a couple more clicks of sidestep. The attack segment of her dial begins and ends with the special power Canary Cry, which grants her penetrating psychic blast. When she uses it and hits, at her resolutions, knock back all opposing characters adjacent to the hit target by 2 squares. Okay. Then looking at her defensively speaking, we open up with a click of Willpower, which gives way to a remaining dial of combat reflexes. And we have some mid-dial close combat expert. Very useful. Now we're also using Black Canary Black Canary's team-up card with the Flash. Basically, if Flash is on the map, Black Canary can use super senses. Next up, we've got Green Arrow. This is the rare, my Green Arrow choice. Green Arrow here comes in at 60 points as the JLA team ability, as well as the Justice League 7 Soldiers of the Star City keywords. We got improved targeting towards elevated and hindering terrain. or improved movement towards elevated and hindering terrain. The Justice Unlimited trait, as well as another trait, say, dirtbag. Modify attack +1 for each friendly character that Green Arrows share a keyword with that has been KO'd this game. Modify damage +3, but only if Green Arrow is the only character on your force. Alright. And that can make Green Arrow pretty, yeah. You can pretend, if you manage to keep Green Arrow at the back of, basically at the back of things up until 3 friendly figures have been KO'd, or even worse, until he's the last figure in your team, you end up with a rather beefy Green Arrow. We end up with a 15 attack and 6 damage. Looking at his dial, though, we've got a couple clicks of running shot, followed by a few clicks of sidestep. On attack, we open up with some energy explosion, which gives away the special attack power. Someone needs to be here to speak for the little guy. Steal energy, but with close or range attacks. Defensively speaking, we open up with energy deflection, which gives way to the Justice League goes on, with or without you. Toughness. Willpower, but only if a friendly character that Green Arrow shared a keyword with has been KO'd this game. Damage-wise, we open up with some leadership, followed by a few clicks of ranged combat expert. And those ranged combat expert clicks, if you notice, coincide with his sidestep clicks. Next up, we've got the Flash. Flash comes in at 65 points, has the JLA team ability, as well as the Central City, Justice League Celebrity Speeds for keywords, and improved movement ignores elevated hindering terrain. We have the Justice League Unlimited trait, as well as another trait, around the world in 80 milliseconds. As a free action, if Flash occupies a square on the edge of the map, and that edge is the largest edge of the map or tied for it, place him in the same row or column on the opposite edge of the map from that edge. He can't be placed in a starting area this way. Okay, alright. Looking at his dial, we have a full run of the special speed power across the city in the blink of an eye, which grants him hypersonic speed. As a free action, you may modify Flash's speed by +3, but the Flash can only move in direct paths. On attack, we start off with nothing, but at the end we pick up a couple clicks of precision strike. Defensively speaking, he's got Indomitable and a full dial of super senses. So honestly, not too shabby. We're also using the Flash's team-up card for Black Canary, which allows him to use probability control, but only when targeted by close attacks. Okay. Next up, we've got Vixen. Vixen comes in at 75 points, has the JLA team ability, as well as the Justice League International, Animal, Celebrity, and Mystical keywords. She also has improved movement, ignores hindering terrain, the Justice League Unlimited trait, as well as another trait, Tantu Totem. Free. Choose a standard power printed on Vixen's card. Vixen can use the chosen power until your next turn. So, looking at her dial, she can use Charge, Flurry, Leap, Climb, Plasticity, Poison, Quake, Blades, Claws, Fangs, Combat Reflexes, Invulnerability, Super Senses, Willpower, Regeneration, Exploit Weakness, and Close Combat Expert. And you can choose when you can pretty much pick which point she gets to use them. So maybe, for example, that on that first click, you may want to say, yeah, you know what, we're going to go with Blades, Claws, Fangs. And then, hey, you get to charge. Then, roll the 6 on Blades with Exploit. That's 6 penetrating damage right there. But yeah, honestly, not bad. Not bad at all, really. It's a nice kind of balanced pick-a-power, which that's always nice to see. There's some balance to a pick-a-power trait. Next up, we've got Red Tornado. Red Tornado comes in at 75 points, has the JLA team ability, as well as the Justice League, Young Justice, and Robot keywords. We also have the Justice League Unlimited trait, as well as another trait, Gale Force Winds. Force Blast. Charge and combat reflexes can't prevent knockback of opposing characters within 3 squares of Red Tornado. However, size, multi-base, and other effects can still prevent it. Looking at Tornado's dial, we've got a full run of Sidestep. Then we open up with a few clicks of the special attack power Cyclone Forces. As a power action, Red Tornado can use Telekinesis twice at no cost, which then gives way to Telekinesis. On defense, he's got Indomitable, because, well, Robot. Opens up with some Invulnerability, followed by some Toughness, followed by an end dial click of Regeneration. Then you get some early to mid dial Close Combat Expert on damage. And finally, for the Justice League team, we've got Wonder Woman. 1D here is from the starter, not the booster set, so she doesn't have the she does not have the Justice League Unlimited trait. She does have the JLA team ability as well as the Amazon Justice League Deity and Warrior keywords, though, as well as the Founding Members trait. Speed +2, but only if your force has 4 or more characters with the Justice League keyword. Yeah, we got at least 4. For all friendly characters that can use this trait, action total +1, but only if your force has 6 or more characters with the Justice League keyword. We do have at least 6. So that's an extra action, and she gets speed +2. Not bad. Not bad at all. Looking at Wonder Woman's dial, we open on attack, we open up with Hypersonic Speed, which gives way to a couple clicks of Sidestep, then back to Hypersonic, and then a couple more clicks of Sidestep. On attack, we have an almost full dial with special power, Magic Lasso. Who knew? When Wonder Woman hits with a range attack, until your next turn, a hit target gains immobile and can't use damage powers. Alright. On defense, she's got Indomitable for a built-in willpower. We have Invincible for a click, followed by a couple clicks of Super Senses. Then back to Invincible, and after that, a couple more clicks of Super Senses. On damage, again, we get 1 click of Leadership, followed by a couple clicks of Empower, and then back to Leadership, and then 2 more clicks of Empower. And that is our Justice League team. Brings us to our final team of the week. This is actually an Avengers team. I know, the SHIELD team does kind of seem a bit like an Avengers team. Honestly, I had to admit to being still somewhat surprised that we never had a old school Nick Fury figure in HeroClix that didn't have, or that doesn't have the I'm surprised we haven't had an old school Nick Fury without the Avengers keyword. Anyway, so this Avengers team starts off with, well, Quake, 65 points, Avengers and SHIELD team abilities, as well as the Assembled Avengers and Espionage traits, Avengers and Humans, SHIELD, Secret Warriors, Spy keywords. We've already looked at her dial. Quick refresher. Charge, range, potentially speaking, range Quake, sort of. Combat reflexes and willpower. Empower, close combat expert, Battle Fury. Next up, we've got Spider-Man, the Miles Morales version. Miles here comes in at 65 points, has the Spider-Man Ally team ability as well as the Ultimates team ability. The Ultimates team ability allows Miles to ignore elevated and hindering terrain for movement in line of fire. He also has improved movement, ignores elevated terrain, as well as the Avengers, Champions, SHIELD, Spider-Man Family, and Ultimates keywords. We have a trait as well, Dimensional Travel Watch, which allows Spider-Man to start with the Dimensional Watch equipped at no cost. Speaking of which, it will be this. Dimensional Watch is a 5-point equipable object. grants phasing teleport, and when the equipped character hits if no character or hits an opposing character, if no character has been placed this turn after resolutions, roll a d6. On a 3 through a 6, you can place another friendly character with the Spider-Man family keyword adjacent. So it basically grants the call and help from the Spider-Verse trait. Looking at Miles' dial, we got a few clicks of special speed power, a slightly different and genetically enhanced spider, which grants him plasticity, size up, and stealth. A couple of clicks of charge after that, followed by another click of the special power. On attack, we open the special power Shocking Web Blast, which gives him precision strike. When Spider-Man is given a move action and moves 5 squares or less after resolutions, he can use Incapacitate as a range attack at no cost, and may use it to target all opposing characters in range and line of fire. Okay. Then after that, we have a couple clicks of Super Strength, and then back to the special power. Defensively speaking, we open up with Super Senses, followed by a couple clicks of or a few clicks of combat reflexes. Damage-wise, we open up with Outwit, and we finish with a couple clicks of Shape Change. Okay, not too shabby. Next up, we've got Agent Venom. Agent Venom also comes in at 65 points. Has the Team Player Wildcard ability, as well as the Avengers, Codex, Guardians of the Galaxy, S.H.I.E.L.D., Spider-Man Family, Monster, Soldier keywords. We've also got improved movement, ignores elevated terrain and hindering terrain, as well as improved targeting. May make range attacks out of adjacency, including to target adjacent opposing figures. We've also got 2 traits. First off is Symbiote, which grants Agent Venom plasticity and shape change, which will make it harder for people to get away from him, potentially speaking, and makes it harder to potentially hit him. Finally, we have his other trait. First into the battle. At the beginning of your turn, you may roll a d6. Move Agent Venom up to half the result. If it's your first turn, move him up to the full result instead. Looking at Agent Venom's dial, we open up with a couple clicks of stealth, followed by a few clicks. Well, we're not going to bother with the secret identity dial. So, a couple clicks of stealth, followed by a few clicks of running shot. On attack, we start off with nothing, but he clicks into a few clicks of penetrating psychic blast. We've also got a 10 attack the entirety of the dial, which is always nice. On defense, he's got Indomitable. Opens up with a couple clicks of invulnerability, followed by a few clicks of special power Go Down Swing, which grants him super senses and toughness. Then on damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Range Combat Expert. And since he doesn't have running shot, what you can do is basically put him into position on one turn, and then with the next turn, use that running shot. Maybe say go 1 and 1, giving him an 11 attack and 3 damage, or maybe have Spider-Man outwit his the target's defense and put it all, maybe put it all into attack or all into damage, and 12 attack for 3 damage, 10 attack for 5 damage. Either way is nice. 11 attack for 4 damage is nice too. Anyway, moving on, we've got Wasp. Wasp here comes in at 75 points. Has the Avengers team ability, as well as the Avengers, Lady Liberators, Wakanda, Celebrity, Scientist, and Spy keywords. We've also got 3 traits. We have Assembled Avengers, just like Quake does. And we'll definitely be able to pull off the full shtick for it if on a 5 or 6. Be able to both remove an action from Wasp and give a hit target an action token. We have the Espionage trait, so stealth, improved movement and targeting, ignores hindering terrain. And finally, Wasp-sized annoyance. Opposing characters within 5 squares can't use improved targeting abilities. That is a killer. say you put her within 5 squares of, well, of Hawkeye here, suddenly Hawkeye can't make those, can't be targeting people up close with range attacks. He's got to, you know, if he's up close to someone, he's got to use close attacks. Anyone with the espionage trait, yeah, they lose. They actually have to, you know, deal with stealth, and so on and so forth. But only if they're within 5 squares of Wasp. Now, looking at her dial, we open up with a click of sidestep, followed by running shot, then back to sidestep, and 2 more clicks of running shot. On attack, we open up with a click of penetrating psychic blast, followed by incapacitate. Back to penetrating psychic blast, and then 2 more clicks of incapacitate. Defense, we open up with super senses, which gives way to a couple clicks of willpower. On damage, we open up with 3 clicks of leadership, followed by a couple clicks of perplex. Not bad at all for 75 points. She's got 5 range with 2 targets, so that incapacitate can be very useful as she could, well, incap 2 people. Next up, we've got Captain America. Cap here comes in at 75 points, has the Avengers team ability as well as the Avengers Shield and Soldier keywords. We have the Assembled Avengers trait, just like Quake and Wasp, as well as the Living Legend trait, like, well, the Captain America for the Shield team has. So the first time he be KO'd, instead turn to his last click and roll a d6, heal him half the result, and it's protected from Pulse Wave. Looking at Cap's dial, get a few clicks of running shot, followed by a few clicks of charge. On attack, we open up with nothing for a while for the top half of the dial. Then the bottom half of the dial, though, we get precision strike. Defensively speaking, we got Indomitable, so built-in willpower. We open up with a click of Impervious, and the rest of the dial is a special power carrying on Steve's legacy. Super Senses, Toughness, Modified Defense +2 if Captain America moved during your last turn. Okay. Bear in mind, moved, not was placed or not was given a move action. Damage-wise, we open up with a couple clicks of leadership, then we get some mid to late dial and power as well. And we get 1 click where he doesn't have a 3 damage. Okay, alright. Next up, we've got Black Panther from the Fantastic Four Fast Forces set. It's the same sculpt as Black Panther and Black Leopard. Black Panther here comes in at 75 points, has the Avengers and Fantastic Four team ability, as well as the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Illuminati, Marvel Knights, Wakanda, Ruler, and Warrior keywords, and improved movement towards hindering terrain. We also have a trait, Mantle of the Black Panther, which grants Black Panther stealth and shape change, but only if he occupies hindering terrain. Okay. Looking at his dial, we open up with a couple clicks of charge, and we get some mid-dial sidestep, and then back to charge at the end. On attack, we open up with a couple clicks of Blades, Claws, Fangs, we get some mid-dial precision strike, and then back to Blades. Defensively speaking, we open up with Toughness, which then gives way to Combat Reflexes. On damage, we open up the special power King of Wakanda, which gives Black Panther leadership and outwit, which then gives way to regular outwit. My only problem with this figure is the lack of Indomitable or willpower at all. But otherwise, it's pretty solid. We get 1 click at the very end with a 9 attack, whereas the rest are either an 11 or a 10. Effective, we got an 18 defense to start off with, and then the rest of the dial is printed 17s, where it can, that against a close attack can be buffed up to a 19 at the very least, just by virtue of combat reflexes. So yeah, not bad at all. And our final figure, the final figure we'll be looking at for this team and for this video is Spider-Man from the Absolute Carnage Fast Forces. Just saying, we're going to be seeing this Spider-Man a lot because it's probably the best Spider-Man we've had, well, ever. He can literally be put on any team. He can be put on any theme team. Yeah. Comes in at 75 points. He has the Spider-Man family team or Spider-Man ally team ability as well as the Spider-Man family reporter and scientist keywords. We've also got improved movement, ignores elevated terrain, as well as the trait Marvel Team Up. When establishing theme teams, choose a named keyword a character on your starting force has. Spider-Man gains that keyword. Obviously, we're choosing Avengers. Looking at his dial, we open up a couple clicks of charge, followed by a couple clicks of running shot, followed by a couple clicks of flurry. On attack, we got a click of quake and a 12 attack. That's right, a 12. We get some mid-dial incapacitate. Defensively speaking, we open up with a couple clicks of combat reflexes, followed by some mid-dial super senses, and then back to combat reflexes with a final click of super senses at the very to wrap things up. Damage-wise, we open up the special power Quips and Thwips. Leadership, but succeeds on a 4 through a 6. That thing gives way to a couple clicks of Perplex. And yeah, I mean, he's got a 50-50 shot to succeed on leadership. Combine that with the fact that you've already got 3 other figures with just regular leadership, and it's going to be real easy to be removing tokens. Wasp, Cap, Quake are likely going to be removing tokens often as well. Well, maybe not likely, but possibly removing tokens as well. So yeah, I mean, this is not going to... This is, ideally speaking, this is the kind of team where it's going to be hard to... Where, you know, there's the possibility of damn near everyone attacking every turn, which is always really cool. Anyway, that's it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. We'll be back a couple days with the weekly comic book roundup. Then we've got another shared trait spotlight, as well as wrapping up the week with another retro horror review. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, though, saying live long and rock hard.